My dearest friend, I'm writing to you wherever you are, in whatever universe or galaxy, on whatever planet. After all, I'll reach with my heart, touching yours far away. I'll find you whenever, wherever, as the sun goes. I'm certain this letter will find you, unaided by post, messengers, or couriers. After all, you want it to find you, and I most certainly do. Possibly, I don't know exactly who you are or what you look like, but this is a lie, I believe I do. But this much I know without a doubt, you're that woman of beauty, that fine being, that goddess, as trite as this word may have become, I'm meant to walk with, hand in hand, along the cosmic road. After all, we're strong alone, but together we shall soar star high. When we meet, your life will truly improve, noticeably and meteorically. Well, maybe stratospherically. And so will mine. In fact, it will stay this way forever. We'll be each other's fountain of youth and inspiration and power. Naturally, life is not without adventures and misadventures. Fate is not without its tricks or vicissitudes, but such things are trifles. If we talk about relationship math, then our alliance is not based on the 1 + 1 = 2 formula, nor on the 1 + 1 is bigger than 2 formula, but rather on the million + million = infinity + eternity approach. You know, your eye, hair, or skin color are not that important to me. Naturally, I love beauty, but I'm in love with you, your universe, and you're beautiful in anybody. Well, alright, enough philosophy. Let me be a bit more specific. By the way, I know we shall meet soon because that magical spaceship flies faster, higher, stronger, with 2 pilots, or rather, with a pilot and his beautiful pilotess, quotation marks. If you don't mind, love, right now, I will be the ship captain. No, not because I love power or command so much. Actually, I enjoy powerful and commanding women. Rather, one woman. It's just simply that I know well how to set goals and work out the strategy. But you will be the commander-in-chief over something, I promise you that. And here's one more thing I will promise. I will never let us relax, neither you nor myself. No, do not be afraid, love. This hardly means I'm a slave driver or a basketball coach, strict as can be. Naturally, we'll celebrate accomplishments, swim in the ocean, look one another in the eyes while sipping on wine. Well, knowing your taste, it might be more like bitter pomegranate juice. Alright, I agree, as long as it's in your company. You're more invigorating than wine anyway. But what I mean is, and what I promise you, is that we'll always keep flying higher and higher, towards the stars, beyond the stars. And after we have reached one of them, or maybe even a whole constellation, we'll venture on and conquer new stars to keep us from getting bored. I will never relax in my love for you. And even when your eyes finally do tell me that you're mine and I'm a welcome guest in your universe, I will always strive to accomplish new deeds and new feats and learn even more of your universe. After all, it is infinite. And I would like the same from you. I promise you to protect our alliance as the most valuable treasure in any universe, and I ask the same of you. Gently when possible, but as forcefully as needed, actually. I promise you. But what was it that I meant to promise you? Just now I got done skiing and skating. I was skate skiing, which means, I suppose, that I was also ski skating, doesn't it? I went to a museum and saw a statue of Aphrodite. A statue. Kissed her on the knee. My apologies, love, I hope this was not a betrayal of you. It's just that the two of you have something in common, or maybe you are her. And if not, then certainly you're no less charming than a Greek goddess, than the Greek goddess. Besides, this was a marble statue, a symbol of beauty. In truth, I was kissing your knee while just paying homage to Aphrodite. Anyway, you can scold me for it if you like. Oh, I remembered now. I promise you that I will surround our friendly alliance with allies and friends, of our love, that is, sending the enemies and ill-wishers off and away, and you can help me do the same. I believe this to be truly important. Alright, what else? I promise to follow the wise proverb, your wish is my command. It is a good rule indeed, so I will insist on and persist in only the crucial things, those principles which hold our alliance together. But I doubt we'll have much to disagree on. We're on the same wavelength after all. Anyway, I promise you to be, I wanted to write soft as clay, light as the waves, and pliably unbreakable, but better yet, entwined and unsevered, as the song goes. And you could do the same, dear. I promise you to see only the best and the finest in you, in me, and in our children when they happen, but at the same time nip in the bud all things that are not truly us. Better yet, send those things to hell in a handbasket. I promise never to impose any credos, views, beliefs, or religions on you. Naturally, we shall have unshakable principles we have both agreed on, but that is different. At the same time, I do promise you that I will always persistently inspire you to make the best decision and take the best action. But if it is the best course of action, then naturally you'll see it yourself and choose to take it, being the epitome of youthful wisdom that you are. Of course, you can do the same with me, and please do. I promise you that not one word of criticism will ever be directed at you. Of course, this differs from training or coaching. That I will never raise my voice at you or the children, because you yourself are perfect. Though even perfect people can perform less than perfect actions sometimes, so let me also promise that I will never shut my eyes on unneeded or harmful actions or inactions. Getting mad can at times, though rarely, be suitable or useful, but never at you or at the children, rather at some problem or action if it ever comes to that. But even if anger is fitting at some point, it should always be inspiring, never despiring, and it should always repair, never make one despair. Though we won't need to soften at all. After all, we're the epitome of an ethical, though not serious in the bad sense of the word, couple and family. Well, alright, I will be strictest of all and most demanding of all with myself. And you too can be very demanding towards me, but lovingly so, please. And vice versa, I will set high standards for you, but I will inspire and help you aspire. I will push you to but one thing, though I doubt much of a push will be needed, to reach heights where you can always thrive and flourish, to bestow your abilities and your beauty upon people, to never diminish your power. I want all of your beauty, your art, and your femininity to open up and be in the limelight, if you so wish, or even the lemon light, this life. Though to be honest, you're an ocean of beauty as you are. Yes, I'm probably a lunatic. Well, actually I do love the moon, but I will strive for this goal. Towards the end of our lives, I want us to know with full certainty, confidence, and clarity who we truly are. Know it so well, in fact, that we could meet in the next step of our voyage, next life that is, with the same ease and the same certainty as if we were meeting at a train station or a cafe. I believe that this is both possible and worthwhile. In fact, such commitment and possibility seems beautiful to me. Why create for only one life when there is eternity? It's like getting married for a day. Naturally, it's not slavery or a bond of some sort. It's only if we have a desire to co-create things beautiful and wondrous together. And if this seems esoteric to you right now, forget it. It's simply a cool game. Whether for one life or 1,001, I promise that each and every day, my goal will be the same. Your smiles, your laughter, your wonderful mood, your new abilities, and your wishes. I promise to never harbor jealousy, but at the same time, never keep silence if some connection, be it mine, yours, or the children's, gets in the way of our lives and its success. And I promise you to take the actions needed. I promise that you'll always have a right of veto over any one person in my life, except my mom or close relatives, that is. What I mean is you can always ask me to strike a person from my social circle if that person is detrimental to us, but this right should not be used lightly. Also, I promise that although a personal goal of mine is to be gallant and help women in life, not only women of course, but for the purposes of chivalry, yes, you will be 100, 1,000 times and an infinity of times more important to me than any woman or any person. And that a lion's share, or a tiger's share, or an elephant's share, if you will, of all my skills and all my help belong to you. And I think it should be the same way the other way around. I promise that we'll be practical dreamers, or put in other words, skillful magicians. We won't simply dream vain and fruitless dreams, nor will we descend down to a level of life's tedious treadmill, becoming hamsters spinning in a wheel. Squirrel wheel in Russia, actually. No, we'll dream lofty and high and act the same way. And you'll be my best, most loyal, and only sorceress and muse, while I'll be your personal magician. Or wizard if you like, but not necromancer, please. Those are the evilish type, and I'd rather be elvish than evilish. Words like normal, average, like everybody, ordinary, and typical will be unacceptable in our alliance and our family. I promise that words like cannot or impossible will be stricken from my vocabulary when there is something we need or simply something you wish for. Obviously, not all the goals in the world need to be accomplished, no, nor can all the skills be learned in one life. But there is nothing I could not do, would not do, learn, or achieve. Mark these words well. By the way, I think the same of you. Obviously, men and women have different roles, but still, you can see me and treat me as a superstar agent, like James Bond, but slightly less of a womanizer. A magician, a god, and this is the way I will be. A woman has tremendous power in her heart and in her hands to mold her ideal man, especially if it is the right man in the right clay, quote-unquote. Naturally, that does not make me a victim of circumstances. After all, I can mold myself as well the way I like. Like I said above, I will also see you as able, beautiful, inspired and inspiring, real yet ideal. I promise that neither anarchy nor absolute monarchy will reign in our alliance, nor ridiculously absurd democracy where all do what they like regardless of consequences. I will be the leader in something, and so will you. Possibly even our kids will be in some aspect. And in some respects we'll have sensible, respectful democracy. There will always be good, positive control where it is needed, and none where control is superfluous. I will never be superior to, more important, or more empowered than you. Simply our roles will be slightly different. Someone has to be the ship captain, but someone also has to be the navigator. And this can change on different voyages. But know this for certain, that I will forever see beauty in you and worship you. No, not in some obsequious way, but in an admirational way. Did you know, by the way, that the word admire means look up to? This is the linguist in me speaking. Without losing my honor or pride any, nor my own drive for success, I will place your interests above my own. I believe this is how a relationship should be, at least this is my own credo. My abilities and my success will exist for this purpose, to ensure your happiness in this life and the next, if we choose each other again. Every year, and perhaps more often, I will get down on one knee, or maybe two, but doubtful if it'll ever be three, and once again ask for your hand. And the year that passed must be full of achievements and accomplishments, because I want you to know that I never take you for granted, since you're my best reward, quote-unquote, in this life and for all the lives that have been, and possibly for many to come. And this is the truth. The cornerstone and the keystone and the keynote of our love and our alliance will be admiration, creation, understanding, also aesthetics. Of course, now we live in bodies, and so physical intimacy is an interesting, important, and quite often a fun part of life. Surely it will happen, but not as an end-all in itself, rather as an expression of our love for each other. Winter and whimsical love, or maybe hot and verdant like summer, maybe budding once again like spring, or colorful like autumn, but always pure and always inspiring, never an animalistic, perverted, or covetous craving, as does happen rather often in this world. But I highly doubt our love will be dull. After all, when souls, hearts, and minds come together, bodies follow. Well, alright, I think I have the key points down, and if I did forget something, I can certainly add on later. I love the epistolary genre, or I can simply tell you while looking in your profound, bottomless, musical, and enticingly enchanting eyes. Oh, right, I promise to never refuse communication to you, nor ever enforce it, but sometimes, when it is necessary, and in this case I would simply insist and persist gently. I will never force my own reality upon you, but if it is crucial, I will get you to see it step by step. Nor will I ever shut my eyes upon your reality, and I will consider it super, truly, and utterly important. I will never demand your affection, kisses, or caresses, nor will I ever refuse to grant you love, warmth, friendship, or affection. And if I see our love dwindling, which is quite doubtful, because we shall always nurture it and help it grow, but nevertheless I will stay the course and find a true reason for that decline, and then do away with that reason. But again, if we always reach up, it is doubtful if we can slide down. I promise that all that you value will be valuable to me as well. Your goals, your vocation and avocations, your priorities. Your true friends will be my friends. But I also promise that if there are false friends in your surroundings, or if there are those in life who are like leeches, viruses, parasites, or vampires, which does happen, by the way, especially around able, creative, and artistic people, I will never ignore this, nor shut my eyes, nor permissively tolerate that someone is feeding on your life force or your beauty, hindering us, or sowing lies, rumors, or gossip. And I promise to open up my own world to you, and that you'll be much more than a welcome guest in it. In fact, you'll be its queen. As I wrote above, you can always behead, banish, or pardon anyone in that world, but it should be just. Admiration between us, like between men and women or spiritual beings, or simply admiration for one another, is that exact force of gravity that will initially bring us together, and it will continue to pull and attract us to each other. In fact, it'll get ever stronger, since even Sir Isaac Newton wrote of it. When heavenly bodies come closer, the force of gravity gets stronger. And we are heavenly, but we're even more than bodies, and we'll come together more than physically. True communication and understanding, and all that it encompasses, will always be our magic wands. And finally, our common goals of creativity, love, success, children, and spiritual development will move us onward and upward. These goals will swiftly come true, but will never end, for they will grow and expand like new stars and new horizons. Our one guiding star will be forever new and beautiful stars and constellations. Well, my love, it's about time for you to fly here from that distant, or maybe very near, corner of the universe. For one acquaintance of mine, an author of magical tales, time won't wait. There are so many creations and adventures that lie ahead. I want you near, and I need you. Sure, I'm strong on my own, but not nearly as strong as with you, and it can be tough alone. The sonata of life needs another to duet with, a beautiful, loyal friend who brings grace and warmth. And this is the truth. My current success notwithstanding, I need you like the fountain of life and youth that you are. I need your wisdom, your gentle strength, your love, and your support. And, honest to God, of course I will be successful alone, but never as successful as I can be. And I'm quite certain you need me too. There is not another captain, another magician, another knight, another god, call it what you will, who understands or cherishes you like I do, and who can help you flourish like I can, and take you on that magical journey. Yes, I'm sure of it. With me, you'll fly far and high, nor will you fall like Icarus did. I will make sure our wings are sturdy, and that we stay away from treacherous warmth. And yes, these words are directed to you. And if you felt your heart flutter, and if you got a tad scared as you were listening to this, and even thought perhaps that this is just about the right time to stop reading or listening to this letter, then we know all the more so that you're the right recipient. I believe that love and relationships are based on mutual help. They are built on light and positive control. They exist and thrive through warm and sincere communication. And also, the most solid groundwork of all are common goals and being devoted to each other's goals. I promise we'll have all that, in a light, natural, and unaffected way. But please do help me with this formula of love and friendship. I cannot do it all alone. Still, admiration stands tallest in my book. I am a poet after all. As Archimedes said, per the words of Baron Münchhausen, love is a theorem that requires daily proof. I agree. I will admit, I'm a bit scared to write you this letter. Of course, devotion is a beautiful thing, but it is a decision performed in action. I am a poet, a dreamer, and of course a man. I love beauty and beautiful women, and I love falling in love. But for whatever reason, right here and right now, not sure about later, I want to wrap up my devotion as a breathtaking and heartwarming Christmas present, or is it a birthday present, and give it to you, which means to me that you're more important, you become more important, more beautiful, and charming, and overall better than any woman in this or any other universe. Please help me give you this present by being present. Like I said, I believe in chivalry and I admire women and beauty, but in matters of love I want all the rest to be no more than fine, graceful paintings in a gallery or statues in a museum, and you alone to be that beloved, living and breathing woman. It's time, my dear and beloved friend. Enough of sitting somewhere on that far and distant star. Help me find you. I wouldn't want to pass you by and then grieve afterwards. Without each other, we'll never be as strong, but side by side, we're unstoppable. Oh, how I wish to take you by the hand, to touch your lips and the very depth of your soul, to drown in your eyes, your embraces, and your knees. Most importantly, to walk, or even run, with you up to the stars and starry goals and constellations, singing, waltzing, and laughing on the way. One of my friends, now that I think of it, she might be a bit like you, introduced me to a song which goes, "A carpet of stars and the sky is ablaze." Why don't you pick it up from here on out? Pick up the melody, please. See you in a flash of love or lightning. And for now, sending you my love and admiration. Me. Postscriptum. Naturally, how can we do without a postscriptum? Here we go. I promise not to beat around any bushes or trees or even forests. As soon as we meet, and as soon as that spark of admiration lights up, and it will happen right away, I reckon, as soon as our souls touch, and that, my dear, happens through a discourse of eyes conversing their own silent language, and also through a beautiful, savory kiss. Sugarless is okay, by the way. As soon as we see that our journeys are headed in the same direction, and I'm sure this is so, and it is actually easy to ascertain in a light and intriguing chat over coffee, or tea, or carrot juice also goes. As soon as that happens, I will ask you to take a trip with me to the stars on a magic carpet, a lifelong trip, or longer. Some would use a metaphor and say, we echo each other forever, or our hearts so tender forever, or we'll cherish in stars one another forever. Beautiful song, by the way, translated by a genius and called Love's Echo. Some others might call this being wise and daring magicians for one another, or even each other's heart and lungs. Well, think of metaphors or similes yourself. You're the queen of art, aren't you? To make the long story short, I promise not to think or tarry, instead create our love and... You figure out that rhyme. I'm writing epistolary prose today, not poetry. Alright, to conclude, thinking is a horrible habit, so rather it's time to live and breathe, my friend, create and love and travel beyond the stars.